have you been doing? I hope you've been doing well. Myself, I'm also well, I thank God. And I would like to welcome you to our today's message. Let us team up together. Let us share, because normally when people meet, they do learn new things, and whatever they learn, they polish up for the better version of themselves. So I'd like to ask you this one question. Have you ever been stressed up in life because of some situation that you've gone through, or even you know someone who has gone through hard moments, and due to that they became stressed up? If you are the person, or you know someone who is stuck in stress, kindly let us work together, and I know we are going to be blessed. My name is Ngendo Mwita. I love sharing, especially what I've gone through and I have overcome. And also, I like basing it on the Word of God, because the Word of God is only the strong point of reference where we can relate to our lives and get solutions. So, the topic today is stress and stress management. Stress and stress management. Please take your piece of paper, take a recording gadget, and I know when you record or even when you note down, we are going to be blessed together, because you will refer at some point, and also you're going to share with someone. So let us start by defining what is stress. Then we are going to see how we are going to manage the situation. So stress, we can define it this way. It is too much pressure or strain to the brain as we try to handle a situation that is out of our control at the moment. Stress is a strain to the brain, or too much pressure to the brain when we are trying to handle a situation that is out of our control at the moment. And because we've seen now, for stress to come about, it is due to some factors, maybe a situation. So we're going to see what are these situations that attribute to stress, that bring about stress, because it cannot just come. If you are handling a situation that you can be able to manage at the moment, stress will not be a part of you, or even you are not going to undergo through stress, because if a situation you can control it, you can handle it, you are not prone to be stressed up in life. So let us see these situations or circumstances that lead us into a stressful moment. And one of the situation is when we are trying to handle loss. Loss in life, they can be of different types. For example, you may handle a loss of a loved one. For example, it can be your brother, your sister, your mother, your dad, one of your family members, your spouse, and God forbid, because that is the greatest loss. For example, myself, I've come to know when you lose your loved one, it's such a loss. And we're going to see also another type of loss. Another type of loss is, for example, loss of a job. When you lose a job, now it's a situation that you cannot, it is out of your control, because maybe you are employed somewhere, and due to some factors you have been sacked, or even maybe due to some, for example, if it is a company, when the returns are very low, maybe you cannot be sustained in the company, so you find that they sack people, and your job is terminated. So we can also look at another loss, loss of money. For example, maybe you may be traveling and you lose money along the way, or even maybe you invest in a project and it fails. So in other words, you lose money. For example, you can lose a property. Maybe there can be some situations like accident, and maybe your car gets an accident, and you see maybe your car gets written off. Maybe in future you can be compensated by an insurance company, but you see it's a process. So when you're trying to handle that kind of loss, you may find that stress has cropped up, and because the situation is out of your control, you find that your brain is under so much pressure. Maybe the vehicle that you are using, it was maybe your source of, maybe it was a taxi. For example, a taxi, you say it is the part of your source of income, and maybe it can be, or even a personal vehicle, it is your means of transport to work. Maybe it's a matatu, you see matatu, it's a business. So when you're trying to handle that loss, and it is maybe somewhere that you are depending on for income, it will bring certain strain to your brain when you're trying to handle that. Are we together? And also you may lose property because of fire. For example, we hear in places like Gikomba, fire has broken out and people have lost property, and you see those people, it's the only business they had for their family. Their family were depending on that. So when you are trying to handle loss of a particular manner, you find that stress may crop up, because now your brain is trying to handle an abnormality. There was a normality, and now this something, it is something you did not expect. It has happened. Are we together? So another situation is whereby you are going through life tests. For example, tests like educational exams, and maybe like, for example, when you are preparing for interviews, you find that in a situation where somebody did not prepare in advance, for example, because of their exams, and now it comes now, the exams, they are very near. You did not prepare in advance, so you are stressed up how you're going to manage that exam. You see, because for instance, if you had prepared in advance, your mind will be sober, you'll be thinking, you'll be prepared, you'll not panic because of last minute. And for example, in a case of interview, you see, normally you don't know what the panelists they will ask you, so you panic, and in a way you are stressed up, because now facing people those you don't know, and also you have that pressure to find a job. You see, you might be stressed up in a way. Also, we find that tests, they can be so many. For example, now like for educational exams, you see, you can be, maybe you for example, like people who have done CASNEB exams. Normally, if you are under pressure previously to pass a particular section, and now this time it has come, you don't know how it will come. And we all know that there are those referrals you are fearing, but because this comes about when you are not prepared, and it is the only situation that brings stress, because if you are prepared in good time, the situation cannot arise. So due to this life tests or exams, you find that people, they might be under pressure. Let us look to another situation. Maybe a workload, you are under pressure to submit some workload. Maybe you did not organize yourself, and you find that you want to beat the deadline. So due to this workload, you find that your brain is under strain or even too much pressure. Are we together? So now let us see our situation number 3 that may bring about stress. And just to go back, we saw number 1, it is when we are trying to handle a particular loss. Number 2, we have seen the situation number 2 that can bring about stress. Maybe it's when we have life tests or examinations or even interviews. And number 3 here, we can list down number 3, life challenges or life problems. And under here, we are going to see that marital problems, they are the major causes of stress. For example, in families, so many marriages, they are under maybe disputes, conflicts of a kind. Maybe it's between husband and wife and in-laws, husband and in-laws. So you find due to this, maybe they're trying to handle a particular situation that is out of their control. Maybe they have not come to like an understanding, or even due to this, you find that most of these spouses, they go through stressful moments, and you see when they go through this, it will affect even their children. Maybe they are trying to solve a conflict, and you see it's not between one person, it is between two, and when a third party comes in, it may be even worse. So due to this, a stress may come about, and we are going to see also, for example, when a family has a sick person, someone going through a very serious illness, you find that it may bring about stress, because now you find that they will need time to attend to the sick person. They will need finance. Now they have to balance between work. They have to balance even finances, because they have to handle medicine, basic needs. So due to this, you might find that they are straining in a way to love this sick person, to be there for them. On the other hand, they have to work and get resources to manage the disease. So in a way, due to this, when they are trying to handle this situation, stress may come about. And also, we are going to see here that you might also find that in a particular family, they have a disabled person. So you also find that this disabled person, they cannot do major things on themselves. They have to be assisted. So in a way, you can be, even if you are the one, you can be stressed out, because now you have to go to work, you have to attend to other family members. Maybe they can be your other kids, and this is a disabled person. In a way, you can be stressed up. Also, we are going to see that we might have conflicts at work. Conflicts at work may be a misunderstanding among you as a worker, or even among some colleagues, and in a way it may affect even your work, your productivity at work. Because you see, normally a conflict, maybe you are trying to solve something in a particular manner. There is also another party, they want to solve it their way, and due to that, you might be stressed up trying to solve a particular conflict. Also, we are going to see that here, or in life challenges, we can experience lack. You see, when we lack, for example, you might even lack basic needs. You see, your mind will be stressed up how to handle that lack. For example, lack of finances. You might experience a shortfall maybe in finances. You want to handle some needs, you don't have the money, so you're going to be stressed up. When you have a lack in particular area in your life, you're going to also experience stress. We also see that like, for example, for ladies, you might find that they are in that age, they want to get married, so they are under pressure. Maybe they are past, especially when they are past 30, you find that they are under so much pressure, and most people, they ask them, when are you getting married? Look, now you are getting old. So those people, those particular ladies that are being questioned, oh, when are you getting married, they might be under pressure. So you find that can also bring stress in their life. You might also find that maybe you are a student, you lack school fees. Maybe your parents, they are humble people, they don't have enough resources. You want to you want to be in school, there is no money to sustain you. So lack, they can be of different kind, and this is still under life challenges. You can experience lack that may lead to stress, because now, for example, lack of job, lack of employment. You are very educated, you have your masters, but you see, due to job shortages, you find that you have papers, you have all the qualifications, but there is no job, or maybe within the area that you've studied. So now, due to that lack of job, you might be stressed up, because now you can imagine you have passed your exams. Maybe now you are under the care of your parents. They have educated you. You are still there. You cannot even support yourself nor even support them. You see, when you are going through that, you might be stressed up in life. So I hope you're still together and you're still noting, because later we're going to see how we're going to manage, because maybe you might find that the situation can be there, but you cannot conclusively solve it. For example, when you have like a disabled child, unless God heals them, that child will remain at that state, you see. Or even maybe you can manage the situation by seeing a therapist. So the situation can only be managed unless God heals the person. So because the examples, there are so many, let us see the effects of this stress. For example, when you've gone through this stress, what are the effects? And later we're going to see how we can manage them. So effect number one of stress, you might find that it may lead to low output or low productivity. For example, when you are at your workplace and your mind is stressed up, you're going to use a lot of thoughts to think about the situation that is hard on you. So instead of you concentrating on your work, your thoughts are diverted to other things, the areas where you are having hardship. And at some point, when it becomes so excessive, when you are so stressed up, it means that every now and then you will be demanded of work. So this and this you have not done. Maybe you've even forgotten that you are supposed to do a certain duty. You see it, and it is because of stress. And we can see here, it may lead to health problems, sicknesses, and also we can say very large amount of stress. It may lead to depression. We know depression is a mental condition, and you see, like for example, when sick of malaria, you go to hospital, you are given the dose, and at a particular point, after now you've consumed the dose, you are now well. But with depression, it's only God, because at times you find that you are going to be given medicine that will only manage the situation. And I have come across the certain people that are depressed, and you see, there comes a time when it is very worse. Maybe they are handling a very sensitive area in their lives, but you see, they have a condition, they have to be maintained with drugs, you see, and it is because of stress. So we are going to look at another effect of stress. Let us see it, may cause memory loss. Memory loss is our very worst state to be in, because for memory loss, you can even, for example, let us take a very simple example. For example, you can use your phone, you can receive a phone call in the last 1 or 2 minutes, and you place it somewhere. Then the 5th minute, you even don't remember totally where you kept your phone. You're just looking for someone else. Oh, may you ring me so that I may hear where my phone is. It has happened to me at some point. That situation is very bad, memory loss. Maybe it is your boss. They tell you, please do this and this, and then you find that the day that you are supposed to do the duty, you even don't remember that you are given that duty. It's a very bad state. And you see, I heard someone say that they boarded a matatu, and even you find that their mind went blank. The matatu, it just passed the stage that they were supposed to alight, you see. And it is because of memory loss. You even don't remember where your house is. Can you imagine coming from work, you just pass your house, you see, and it is because of it is very bad state. Let us see another point. For example, stress in breastfeeding mothers, it can cause even a loss of milk. You find that because of this stress that you are having, it will affect even milk production in your system. Yes, you'll consume the fluids, you will eat well, but because your brain is under too much pressure, you find that even that milk you don't have for the baby. It is very bad. Stress is the worst thing that you can go through. You also find that stress will always make your face very dull. You look very a frowned person. You have no joy. You see, when someone looks at you, they don't feel even like talking to you because you look troubled. You see, because now when your brain is affected, your heart also is affected. You see, because now, for example, when you have a lot of pressure in your brain, you don't have that joyful part in you. You see, like you see, even when you're having a dull face, or even a frown face, a sad face, it means the heart also, it is very dull. You see, and you see, it will affect you and affect those that are near you. It will affect your baby. And I have seen that, like for women mothers, you find that when you are stressed up, you might even like beat your baby so badly. Maybe they have erred, but you see, you might beat them with a lot of bitterness, and maybe they've done a very minor mistake, but you beat them very badly. Even you can hit them maybe on the head and damage them. So stress is very, very bad. The effects of stress, they are very, very bad. And you see here, we may see another point on the effects may lead to suicide or suicidal thoughts. When you are very much depressed, that mental condition, it may that condition, it may talk to you, just take a rope and take your life, because you are under something else. You're under influence of something else. Your thoughts, they are so much pressurized so that you cannot think normally. So there are just few examples that we can give there, and let us now see or look at how we can manage this stress. Because at some point, like for example, when you lose your loved one, you are not able to bring them back. And we have had in the Bible cases where Jesus resurrected some people, like Lazarus. And you see, unless God does a miracle, you have to live you have to manage that loss. You cannot like for example, I may use the loss of a loved one. For example, I lost my brother sometimes back. I'm not in a position to bring him back. So it's only God who can help us manage. The situation can only be managed through the help of God. So let us look at how we can manage them. Number one, it is acceptance. Acceptance, number one. Start by accepting the situation. For example, if you lose your parents, and God forbid, just accept it is God who gives lives, it is God who have taken. For example, when you lose property, just accept. And because, for example, for properties, you can work hard and attain them. For example, maybe it is loss of a vehicle, you can even get insurance and you can be compensated. So we look at point number 2, forgiveness. forgiveness. Are we together? How we can manage. And in forgiveness, for example, it applies to life challenges, like for example, marital problems. So now maybe you might have a conflict between your husband and, for example, husband and wife, and even in-laws. So, and maybe at one point you were offended. So just accept to forgive, and when the situation goes beyond where now it becomes life-threatening, now you can decide of leaving. I'm not propagating for separation or maybe divorce, because so that you may vacate from stress, but we are trying to see how we can manage, because now you cannot stay in a life-threatening marriage, because now when you are gone, no, who will be there for the marriage when you are not there? So you have to look at your life first, then the marriage. So where it is past your control, for example, when it is life-threatening, so will you have to stay there? Then the other minute you are no more. We have had cases. This is not something new. We have heard it in the media. So when it is life-threatening, you forgive, yes, and now wisdom tells you to leave, because now I have heard people say, because of my children, I'll have to stay. Well and good. But if you are no more, how about your children? So you have to, life comes before marriage. And you see, you like Christ told us, we should forgive, because him, he has forgiven. For him to forgive us, we must forgive others. So when we are looking at forgiveness, we have to forgive, yes, and where you have to leave, you have to leave. Let us look at another point, how to manage stress. Always plan well. Number 3, always plan well. For example, in the area of financial problems, when you plan well and you know your income, you know the economy it has been the worst. So when you plan well, you'll even avoid unnecessary debts. And we know how debts, they have become so bothering to people. You hear that someone wrote a note and they said because of this, so many days they become so huge. I feel like I cannot live anymore. I'm under too much pressure because of these debts. So when you plan well, you live a life that you can be able to manage. You live within your means, and you avoid these unnecessary debts. You see, now when you live within your means, it means that these other luxurious things, you will avoid them because you can't afford them. So we look at another point here, and we see that when we budget, it will help us even in future planning, or even can say that when we budget now, it can help us invest, because now if you don't budget, it will mean that you spend everything. So you even don't have a saving. You cannot even invest for your future. So now let us look at also, when we plan well, we avoid unnecessary last minute rush. For example, in the case of workload, where we have to submit certain reports within certain deadlines. When you plan well, when you organize yourself well, you find that you work at a very good pace. You are not under pressure to submit some work, because maybe before even you are asked that report, you've already submitted. So let us look at another point. Now we can say point number 4, surrendering to God through Jesus Christ our Lord. You find that when things, they become so hard on you, and they are out of your control, you have to look above. That is where our help comes from. So when you look unto God, He will not fail you. When something is out of your control, you can do nothing about it. Just commit it to Jesus Christ. And we see this from His word in the book of Matthew chapter 11, verse 29 to 30. It says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Matthew chapter 11, 29 to 30. "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Are we together? There is no greater hope than that one, of hearing that our Lord is humble and He is gentle. Because you know that as human beings, maybe you might wish to run to maybe for example, maybe it is a financial situation. You might think of running to, for example, someone you know that is wealthy, and maybe when you go to those people, you find that they will charge you for whatever they assist you. But you see, with God, He says that He is gentle and humble. He is very much willing, because as someone who is humble is someone who is approachable.